All right, I just took my Christmas M&Ms and placed a small amount in each one of our mason jars. I'm next gonna be going in with a 1/3 cup of our dark brown sugar, and I'm placing that into each one of our mason jars. Make sure that's full, and we're going right in just like so over our M&Ms. This is gonna be a super easy and delicious little gift for the holidays. This is also great for a white elephant, you know, parties with coworkers. This recipe is super, super simple too, and kind of customizable for every holiday. All right, I just placed our brown sugar in each one of our mason jars. We're next gonna be going in with a 1/4 cup of our pure cane granulated sugar. Open that up. I'm gonna pour these right over just to ensure we don't get anything spilled. And like I said, these are super customizable. I just use the M&Ms for Christmas because we have the Christmas coming up. Just going in right over our brown sugar. Beautiful. And you can kind of see how all our layers are forming in those beautiful mason jars. We're just gonna make sure that all of those are nicely evenly spread out for the remainder of our ingredients. All right, I'm going in next with our 1/2 cup. We're going in with just some regular flour. And don't be afraid to make a mess. We all know that we are in the kitchen cooking. It is okay to make a mess. We're just gonna go right on in over our sugar and brown sugar. If you have a funnel, this portion's also really probably best with a funnel. All right, we're going in with 1/2 teaspoon of our table salt for these yummy little treats. I love a good salt and sweet dish, so I'm going with the 1/2 teaspoon. It's gonna be perfect for these kind of individualized recipes in our mason jars. Beautiful. We're going in with our baking powder. We're gonna be using 1/4 teaspoon of our baking powder right on top of our dry ingredients. Use that, make sure you get it all leveled out. And this is just gonna make sure that our ingredients bake perfect. Beautiful. All right, and here comes the fun part. I'm going in next with my dark chocolate chunks. I love using the dark chocolate chunks during this time of year for Christmas. Oh, look at the layers on that. It's super fun. Like I said, this is gonna be a super easy and fun kind of recipe gift idea for the holidays. I don't know about anybody else, but once November 1st comes around, my tree is up. There is Christmas presents underneath the tree. The lights are up. So this is kind of just going right into our Christmas time. I'm going in next with our old-fashioned oats, and I'm kind of eyeballing our little toppings here with the chocolate chunks and the oats. Just kind of make sure that those are covered just like so. I would say maybe about 1/2 cup. All right, and we have one last Christmas touch for these cookies in a jar. I'm going in with our holiday sprinkles right on top, just so that we add an additional little pop of color for these amazing little cookie treats. Beautiful, and you can feel free to use any kind of sprinkle. The bigger sprinkle, I think, just presents better with the layers in the jar. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at how darling those are. All right, those were just my Keebler ice cream cones into my cupcake tin. I'm coming in next with just my Pillsbury super moist white cake mix. And I just followed the back of the instructions, and I'm going in with that cake mix right into our little cones for this easy holiday treat. I'm doing the white cake mix. You could totally do the yellow. You could also do a chocolate, a strawberry. But for this recipe, I think the white cake mix is gonna be perfect. And I mean, who doesn't like a good white cake mix? So we're just going in, and I'm filling these cones about 2/3 of the way full before moving on to our next step. All right, we have our last one filled. We are ready to place these into the oven. I'm going in for maybe about like 10, 15 minutes at 350. Okay, these just came out of the oven. I did let them cool for about 15, 20 minutes. They are looking beautiful. They smell super tasty. All right, I just took 2 whole sticks of butter and 1 cup of our granulated sugar right into our saucepan. I'm next going in with some pure vanilla extract, and I'm using about a teaspoon of that vanilla extract right into our warm saucepan. And we're gonna give this a nice, healthy stir. This is gonna be a simple, easy recipe for the holidays. Super, super yummy. Oh, perfect. And we want to try and get all that butter melted down and mixed into our sugar and our vanilla extract. All right, this is kind of the color and consistency that we are looking for, that beautiful kind of toffee brown. We're gonna take this off heat and we're gonna bring this over to our workstation. All right, we have our golden toffee and we're just gonna be placing that right onto our parchment paper, right down the middle. Be very careful because it's gonna be super, super hot. We wanna make sure we get all of that onto our 13 by 9 with our parchment paper. Oh, beautiful. The smell of that is just so decadent. And I'm just going in with my spatula and spreading that super thin right on top of our parchment paper before it hardens. So you wanna be kind of quick with it and just making sure that we get all of that parchment paper covered. Oh my gosh, look at that gorgeous caramel color. Oh, it just smells so delicious too. All right, that is perfect. Next, I'm gonna be going in with one of my favorites, our Ghirardelli dark chocolate chips. And I'm just gonna be spreading those all across while it's still hot, our little toffee mixture. Ooh, perfect. And I use 1 bag of that dark chocolate Ghirardelli, and we're gonna wait a couple seconds to make sure that dark chocolate melts. All right, we gave it about 30 seconds, and I'm going back in with my spatula, and we are going to just spread. All right, we're just spreading that just like so. Those dark chocolate chips melted so beautifully. And this, like I said, is gonna be a super easy little treat for the holidays. Ooh, make sure we get every corner because we don't want those chocolate chips clumping up right over our toffee. And here comes the fun part. I'm gonna be going in with some of our pecan pieces, and I'm just gonna sprinkle those right over our toffee and dark chocolate. You can feel free to use a peanut, an almond, a hazelnut. You could even do like mixed candies, but the pecans kind of just spoke to me in the store this morning. Oh, beautiful. Make sure you get all those little bits. And of course, this is not gonna be complete without just some of our sea salt that I'm gonna freshly grate right on top of our toffee. Because who doesn't love a good salty, sweet little mixture? And very lightly. All right, now that we have our toffee bar complete, we're gonna be placing this into our freezer for a couple of hours. Looking for your next festive holiday treat? Look no further. I'm starting off with a large vat of vanilla pudding right into my little potluck dish. And then I'm just going to spread that out evenly. I love using the vanilla pudding for this, and you'll see why it really just plays into our festive theme. I'm gonna go in with some sweetened coconut shreds, and that's just gonna play into the festivity of this easy little treat. I personally think it looks just like snow, so it is absolutely perfect for this. The next item that I'm going to be coming in with, I have these little snowmen peeps. I love the holiday peeps. I swear they do taste different than just the original peeps. So I go in with my little snowman and just plop them right into our coconut snow before moving on to our next item. So I come in with some sugar cones, just the little sugar cones, and I actually have some green frosting, and I kind of just pipe them to look like little Christmas trees. This is super fun and super easy. You could easily do this with the kiddos, and I think it just totally elevates this festive kind of snowy wonderland dessert. And then I'm just going to go in with some holiday sprinkles. Obviously, you could do whatever kind of sprinkle you like. I just had this fun little blend that really blends well with our snowmen, our little cone trees, of course, our shredded coconut. And then I'm tying in with these little mini candy canes, and I'm just making them into like little hearts and just kind of plopping them right into our little snowy festivity little scene here. And then I didn't even know that they sold holiday dots, but they do. And it just reminded me of the movie Elf and the gumdrop swirly twirly wonderland. So I pop in a couple of those into the corners, into 2s and 3s. I just say it really elevates. And again, the kids are going to absolutely love this little holiday treat. If you can kind of see where I'm going here, I've done something similar for Halloween, and this is just my festive holiday version of what we would call like a dirt cup. So we have our vanilla pudding, our coconut, our festive little trees, our snowman peeps, and of course our candy canes and our swirly twirly gumdrops. This is going to be great for a holiday party, easy to do with the kids, and of course, super delicious. You have got to give this a try for your next holiday party. Happy holidays! All right, we're gonna start preparing our cookie in a jar gift. We're gonna put all of our lids on. All right, I have my holiday ribbon already pre-cut. And with this, I'm just gonna tie a little bow right around our little cookie in a jar. And you can feel free to also put like a little recipe card on there, but you kind of get the idea. We just want to do a nice little holiday ribbon. All right, we have our nice little holiday bow right on there. I just found some little decorations at Michael's, and I'm just gonna go right on into our bow just to add a little accent of color. Beautiful, super festive and super cute. Like I said, you could do a little recipe sticker on the side or tied within the bow. And we're gonna go in with our second holiday ribbon and do the exact same thing with all 3 other cookies in a jar. All right, we have all of our cookies in a jar decorated. I mean, look at how darling these are. And the great thing about this is, like I said, all you have to do is add a half stick of butter, an egg, mix, and bake. Now that we have those, I'm gonna move them off to the side. I'm gonna bring in my piping station. So I just have a small vase, a piping bag, and then our piping tip. We're just going to create our piping station by opening up the mouth of that piping bag, just like so, and just making sure that we have enough space in there. Perfect. I'm gonna come in with just my Pillsbury white frosting. I am using just the white frosting. And I'm going right into our piping bag, just like so. And popping that frosting into our piping bag. You could also do a green frosting here, but I think with the white and what we're going to be doing is gonna be absolutely perfect. So we'll go ahead and get this nice and piped. All right, now that we have that in our piping bag, just ever so gently pop that up. And then, oh, delicious. All right, move that off to the side. I'm gonna bring in just my kitchen shears, and what I'm gonna do is just cut actually right there, and we'll see where that gets us with our little piping tip. All right, that is looking perfect. Now that I have my piping bag ready, we're gonna bring back in our little cake cones very gently. Perfect. And then I'm gonna take my piping bag. We are just going to pipe our little cake cones with just white frosting. We wanna make sure we get our edges too. I always forget the edges. Perfect. And like I said, I'm using the white. You could do a different color. You could do a green here, but you'll see our design. That white really makes a huge difference. So we'll go ahead and get the remainder of our little cake cones beautifully piped. Oh, that one was a really good one. With just our white frosting. You could also do a buttercream or make your own, but as we're going, oh, this one might be a little wonky, but that's okay. They're not perfect. We'll go ahead and get these all frosted up. Okay, we just finished frosting these. Now I'm gonna be coming in with my black writing icing. And here's the fun part. I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna go nice and high, and we're just going to create a little swirl on top of those little white cake cones, just like so. I'm gonna start at the base and just kind of go up and just be really loose with it. Create a little spiral, just like so. I mean, if anybody can guess what these are, I would be really amazed. But once we move on to our next step, you'll be able to tell exactly what we're making for the holidays. Okay, now that we have our cute little black writing gel on there, I'm gonna come in with my M&M minis, and these are the holiday ones. So I have just the red and the green. I mean, look at how cute they are. And then I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna put them on their side right onto the black writing icing. And I'm gonna do red, green, red, green. As you can see, I'm just popping them onto the side. And they are going to be a cute little strand of lights. They're starting to come together, so we'll get these all nicely popped in there. I'm using the mini M&Ms just because we had kind of smaller cones, but obviously you could use the regular M&Ms and regular cones, but I think these mini ones are gonna be perfect for the holidays. This is gonna be something you could totally make with the little kiddos too. And do our last little one. Oh, we need a green one there. Oh, okay, they're coming together. We are going to trust the process and get these nice and lit up, as one would say, for the holidays. Oh my goodness, these cute little holiday light cupcake cones are so darling. Like I said, these are gonna be super fun for the kiddos. I cannot wait to eat one of these. This is my favorite part. I mean, first of all, so cute. I know, super simple, but I mean, everyone is gonna really love these. And I love the best part. We're gonna just pop one of these puppies open. I know, puppies are right in our background. And we have that decadent just cake right in the center. Oh, absolutely delicious. And of course we have to taste test this. I mean, it wouldn't be a recipe without that. Oh, and I hope you enjoy. So delicious.
That was the biggest bite I've ever seen.
Oh. All right, we just took our pecan and sea salt toffee out of the fridge and we are just gonna go right on in. Oh, look at the perfect break on those, and that crunch and that dark chocolate is perfect. It's exactly the consistency we want. And we're just gonna pop a few of the pieces right onto our little holiday plate. Ooh, yummy. And this is gonna be a great addition for the holiday dessert table. It's also gonna make a great little stocking stuffer if we're doing stockings for the year, or even as a Secret Santa gift. Oh, perfect. That dark chocolate looks so beautiful with all those pecans in it and the sea salt. And I think I'm just gonna go right on in for a good old bite. Oh my God. That toffee is perfect. The dark chocolate just complements it. So rich. Really good.